Hello and welcome and happy Hunger Games. For you that are following me, you know me, I am Rose O'Neill, and today in commemoration of the Hunger Games movie, I'm doing a book review. I decided since I've been reading a lot this summer that I should start doing book reviews. I've also had a lot of people ask me why the Hunger Games are so good. Oh, I've heard so much about them. Why are they so good? Why does everyone read them? On and on and on. So today I thought, since the movie came out last night at midnight, would be a good time to release a book review based on the books and why they're so good. I am wearing my Hunger Games shirt. Don't know, stand up, you can see it. And later I'm going to change my shirt and I'm going to wear my Hunger Games pin. And also my Hunger Games necklace that I got off Etsy.com. So anyways, let's get on with the book review. Do forgive me, this is my first one. I have my cheat sheet here with all my notes, so let's dive into it. The Hunger Games book review. I am reviewing all three books. That is, of course, the original Hunger Games, the Catching Fire, as well as the Mockingjay. So I'll be reviewing all three books, just not revealing anything, not ruining it for anyone who hasn't read it, but I'm going to basically review why it's such a good series. Dive into why I like it personally. First off, I was watching a vlog, Caters17 or Cater17, whichever way you know her, and she was raving and raving about this. This was about a year ago or so, and I'm like, oh, okay, looks interesting, but I'm not a big reader, whatever. Then within the next day, I heard 8 more people tell me about it and rave about it. I'm like, okay, I'm not big into reading. I'll get the first book, I'll check it out, and then I got oh my gosh sick. And I'm not going to go into details, but I was down sick for 5 days, fevers and all that. And my first Hunger Games book, the first book, was a paperback. That book I slept with every night. I loved it. It was like my saving grace, my way to get through work and get through school while I was sick. I was thinking, oh my goodness, I can't wait home to go home and read the Hunger Games. And also at the same time, I was going through just a huge life change. I was going into the education program at college. I was moving into a new job, moving on with a new portion of my life. And the book really set a stable, solid for me. It was my brick. And I just started building onto it and building onto it. And that book really, the first book really helped me, you know, stop and start thinking about my own personal feelings, start thinking about my own personal situations. So that's where that come from. Sorry, I'm looking off my notes. Let's see. So yeah, I ordered the book. Let me just read. Personally, I like the series because it shows how a common person like Katniss, the main character, can be caught up in kinds of trouble and issues in life and still end up alive and happy. So basically the 3 books, as we go on, the main character Katniss gets into all this drama, all this trouble. She didn't even know how she got into it. She's like, I was just trying to, you know, be mean, you know, be happy, and all this drama, and then at the end, oh, she ends up happy and alive, and life just, after all this whirlwind of issues, she ends up all right. So that for me really spoke, because I am that common person. I am that person that I have lots of drama in my life, and that book really showed me, you know what, it will be okay. It will show out that eventually all this drama will end and it will be okay. Okay, going into why other people do or would like it. Now, the story about this, I had a younger friend. She's a freshman in high school. Well, now she graduated. She was top of her class and she moved forward a couple of grades. And she was asking me about this book. She's like, okay, Granted, in high school, status is all the thing. So she's like, okay, the goths are reading it, the preppies are reading it, the jocks are reading it, my mom is reading it, my mom and my aunt and my grandmother all read it. And she's like, why? Why does this gothic person that's all into pixies and dragons and dark music like it the same way as this preppy who likes pink and puffy and all girly stuff? Why do they both like it? Well, here's why. The Hunger Games presents three, count them, 1, 2, 3, big complications or issues that everyone sees in their life at some point or the other. Let's see. Sorry, I lost my thought. Okay, right here. Whether it's like there's an issue with boy troubles, Katniss has to decide between two boys. Do I go with this one or do I go with that one? What would they say if I get with this one? What will they say if I go with that one? So the issue of possibly two different boys, two totally different people she could be with. I mean, how many of us have had that issue where we have the best friend that we find out is interested in us, but then we also have that other person that we've had that big date with or that really special romantic experience with. The next issue is being in the middle of not a war per se, but a fight. How you don't know how you got there, don't know why you're there, and don't know what people are expecting from you. In the book, that's the first of all, the whole thing with Katniss holding out the nightlock berries and President Snow saying, okay, now you need to fix this before it goes all crazy. That's one of the issues. And the other one is the actual war, where Katniss is saying, okay, now I'm the face of this war. I don't know why I'm here, what my role is, but here I am. So there's the last two issues. First one is just trying to put the grindstone, stop, slow down, pump the brakes on a big fight before it happens. That's one of the issues that Katniss faces in the book that we all see in our lives. We say something to our friend that another friend said about that one, and you're trying to, oh wait, he wasn't saying that, she wasn't saying that, it was a joke. We've all been there where there's something that happens that we realize that it could cause, oh my god, drama, that we need to pump the brakes and cool it down before war breaks out. Now the next issue is after we fail, stopping the war, stopping the fight, everyone goes ballistic, and now we're the middleman. I've been this millions of times where this person asks you to say this person asks you to say that, this person asks you to do that, this person's saying, oh, you're taking their side, you're evil. Katniss sees the same thing, but she's in actual war. When they're at war with the Capitol, she sees it. Okay, the rebels want me to do this, but the Capitol wants me to do this because PETA, they have PETA. She's stuck in the middle of this war. So what I'm saying here is those three issues, the love, the putting out the flames before it goes crazy, and the actual fight / war, we've all seen it in our lives. I've seen it, my grandmother's seen it, my aunt's seen it, my friends, everyone. That is why this book is so connectable to everyone. Whether you are a emo goth that's into heavy metal or a preppy cheerleader that's into, I was going to say Spice Girls. I'm so out of the loop on music. Anyway, moving on. Let's see, another reason that this book is amazing is the characters. The characters are so relatable. Just take Katniss. Okay, let's see, let's describe her. A skinny girl with brown eyes, almost grayish eyes, and brown hair with the ponytail or a braid. Now you take any brunette, put a braid on her, and I will guarantee people will be screaming everywhere, it's Katniss! I mean, I am blonde, and I colored my hair brown and put in a braid for the movie, and everyone's like, it's Katniss! Caters 1-7. Every time she puts a braid in, everyone's, oh my gosh, it's Katniss! So, it's just a normal person. going past that, why this book series is so good is the author, Susan Collins, wrote her characters to be so simple that we could look past looking at what they look like, what they sound like, what they smell like, so on and so forth, to actually look at their feelings, look at their situations. I read science fiction all the time, and I usually spend at least 5 months trying to read a science fiction book, because I spend all my time trying to draw the character. Okay, they have a cyborg eye and an arm with guns on it, all this crazy stuff. No, those characters sound like that. Okay, we got Katniss, brunette with a braid. We have Peeta, a baker. He's got big arms, big, beautiful face, blue eyes, blonde hair, handsome guy. Okay, that's easy enough to envision. Then we got Gale. Okay, another handsome guy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So once our brain stops thinking about what the person looks like, then we actually start reading into their emotions and their situations. I love this book so much because it makes me cry every time. It made me cry in the first one when Rue dies. It makes me cry in the second one when Peeta gives her the pearl. And it makes me cry in the third one. I'm not going to ruin why, because there's a lot of things I could say about that. But anyways, it's so simple just to get into the minds of the characters. It's just so simple to get into the situation, thinking about how would you feel if you were in war in the capital and all these landmines and all these crazy things were going on around you. Just the writing is so easy to follow because you're not worried about the characters. Characters are set up easy peasy lemon squeezy. You worry about more foundation later. You're more worried about their situations, their feeling, what's going on in the scenery around them. That's why this book is so relatable to so many people. Because, yet again, I am not a good reader. I am not a very fast reader. I am the person that as soon as I read about a character or a scenery, I will sit there and sketch what I think I would see. So it takes me a while to read something. Yet, in the Hunger Games series, the author doesn't make the reader constantly have to overthink the scenery, overthink the characters. She's easy peasy lemon squeezy. Here's the character. That's what they look like. End of it. Let's move on to the situation. Let's move on to what they look like. Alright. So that was my spiel about why the book is so good. Looking off my notes. I've already mentioned the 3 issues. Why this book series is so good. It's those 3 main issues that every single person in the world, doesn't matter where you are, has seen. Whether you are in girl, boy, so on and so forth, everyone has seen these issues. You have seen an issue where you have 2 possible choices for someone to date. The nice friend that you've known forever, that knows you even more than you know yourself. And then there's the very handsome other person that you find out is in love with you, that you have this huge connection with, or this really big event happen that really entwines you together. For Katniss and Peeta, that would be the Hunger Games, the time spent in the cave, and also getting out together out of the Hunger Games. The next is the big issue where you say something or you do something and you really didn't mean it to come across as it did, and then you got to put out the flames. For example, I had several friends, and when one of them wasn't around, some of my friends would make fun of her or say something about her or him, and I would accidentally let it slip, or I might mention something, and oh great, now I have a huge fight on my hands, so I have to, no, they really didn't say that, I really didn't mean that, I just meant this. In the Hunger Games, Katniss and the Nightlock Berries did not mean to say, okay, capital I defy you. She just wanted Peeta and her to get out of the Hunger Games together as promised. Alright, going on with that. sorry, the last issue. Now, granted, we all have not seen war, at least we have seen war, thank you to the troops, I would like to say, but a lot of us have not seen war. We have not had that where we discover our hometown is destroyed or we find ourselves in the middle of an actual war. But we have been in that situation where we are the face, we are the headpiece to a epic battle. For example, what was my example? Sorry, I'm still working out the kinks on how to do this, but I can't find my example, but just take for a easy example when there's a family feud and you're the only one that people are talking to. You have to try and, okay, I'm part of this family, but I also want to stay in connection with that family because my brother is married to that family or whatever. We need to play both sides. Katniss is in the middle of that. The whole third book, I could not tear myself away for the life of me, having to get up at 5:30 in the morning. I'm up till 2 in the morning reading. Because it's just, she's caught up in this whirlwind, and the fact is, half of the time I don't even know what's going on. Half of the time, it's like all this stuff is happening, whirlwind, whirlwind, and then you finish the chapter and you're like, what just happened? So you read it again. And that's what's so wonderful about these books, is that the way that it's written, you can really feel the emotion of the characters. When Katniss explains her pain when Peeta calls her a mutt in the third book, you can feel it. I personally cried because I could never imagine someone that I thought I loved coming back after being tortured and calling me a mutt. It's just, oh, well, I think I've said all that I want to say. Yet again, I would like to take this opportunity to say, Susan Collins, thank you so very much for giving this wonderful book series to the world. I have read it now 3 times through the whole series, and it honestly was my saving grace when I was sick. It was my saving grace when I was going through some hard times in my life, and it really gave me another perspective on what was going on in my life. It really gave me another perspective on how to think about my emotions. So Susan Collins, again, thank you. To those of you watching, thank you so much. If you haven't read the books, go read them. They're awesome. And I'm not just saying that from a fan point of view. I'm also a teacher, so I'm saying that from a educator's point of view. These books are amazing. If you have read them, I hope you agree with everything I've said on here. If not, leave me a comment. Yet again, don't ask about the movie. I probably won't do movie reviews till I review all the books I've been reading. So, and thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this review. More to come on some more books, and yeah, maybe next time I won't have 3 pages worth of notes. So, alright, and may the odds ever be in your favor.